One of the most exciting storms I ever went through was Hurricane Katrina. Hands down the most intense experience of my life. The winds were like nothing I'd ever experienced. 150 miles an hour. There was debris flying past us. It was just amazing to see.
Hurricane Katrina is a real salient point for me in my memory of working in broadcasting and covering weather. The summer of Katrina was the busiest summer ever for hurricanes. Not only did hurricanes exhaust all of the letters in the English alphabet, we moved on that summer to using 5 or 6 letters of the Greek alphabet. I remember monitoring Katrina all weekend, and it was a really interesting storm because it skirted through Florida and then got back out over the Gulf of Mexico, and we watched it from a distance here in Canada, and we saw the potential danger of this storm, but it was all just numbers and statistics and pictures from space and satellite images and radar. But it wasn't until we actually saw the pictures from New Orleans the day after and the following days after that the real human element of Katrina came to press its face towards us. And that was people in North America actually dying on city streets. And it took all of what was so cold to watch through science and made it real.
I find that the impact that these storms have on people is absolutely stunning. We love to think of ourselves as masters of the earth, and yet you bring a hurricane or any kind of severe weather, and suddenly our structures and our buildings are for naught. These things get taken apart as if they were never there. What I find as a chaser and as someone who's interested in meteorology, it's very difficult sometimes to see the impact that these storms have on people. I remember after Katrina, we're driving out of the area and we were near Pascagoula, Florida, and we were watching a little news report. It was just a local TV station, and I was standing beside who was another man who's obviously local. And he was just looking at it, and his face was white. And I said, oh, how are you? Are you okay? And he said, that's my corner. He said, that's my house right there. And I said, there's no house. He said, that's right. All his limousines, his house, his business, gone.
Hurricane Katrina is an interesting story because, yes, there was the actual event of the storm hitting, but then it was protracted in its epilogue. Hurricane Katrina's relief efforts went on for months and months, and so many Canadians were involved. Our firefighters, our police forces went down to help with search and rescue and to maintain order. I know that Canadian Habitat for Humanity teams went down to actually build houses in the aftermath year and 2 years after Katrina. We sent food, we sent supplies and bedding and all of those things, and that's what's really interesting about Katrina is how long afterwards the relief efforts lasted and how great the involvement from so many Canadians was.
Katrina was a historic storm simply because of what it did. It was the first storm to truly wipe out a city. There was a real feel on the Gulf Coast that we're going to be fine. No storm is going to wipe us out. We're going to be fine. We're not going to have to worry about this. And Katrina opened everybody's eyes. It blew the levees in New Orleans, wiped out the whole Mississippi, Louisiana coast. People were stunned and in shock of what this storm did. I think that is a big deal in that people see Katrina as that watershed moment where we realize that these storms do tremendous amounts of damage, tremendous loss of life. I think we're up to almost 2,000 people were killed in that storm. It really opens your eyes to, hey, you know what? Weather is still a serious issue. We still have to worry about these storms. We're not immune to this.